G'day guys and welcome to the Centre Bounce for this new video where we will be tracking the DPP changes as we enter into round 4. Stay tuned. Yes, Big J, I know Supercoach is going to present us with some classics and beautiful DPPs. It's not coming
Mhm.
up just yet, but we thought we're in the middle of the rung for this first segment of changes and thought this might be a good chance to have a look and see how our players are tracking.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of us have, some cheaper players in the midfield, some cheaper players down back, and the same thing in the forward line. Maybe a ruck or two that might be coming through. And we're kind of just planning ahead, right? James Jordan, we've got all these other guys who might need to get offloaded soon. Do we bring in a guy who's a player now, or are we kind of tracking for a midfield that might be getting DPP?
Yep, exactly. So the only way to know is to see where we currently stand. So let's go.
Hmm.
Of course. But before we get into it, just a quick little bit of housekeeping before we start talking about the players specifically. A reminder there are going to be 3 points in the season where DPP will, I suppose, take place. The first one is after round 6 before round 7, and that's coming up. We're obviously entering into round 4. So that is in a couple or almost 3 weeks' time for us to have a look and see how our players are tracking before a round 11 and then a round 17. So these are the 3 spots where DPP will take place.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a little bit different than last year as well, which was round 6. And some people, I know some content creators were getting a little confused and saying, hey, why isn't it round 6 again? Because it means that everyone's had a chance to play 6 games. Even if you had to buy in round 2, you played round 0, whatever. After 6 games, all the information gets tallied up. That's when it comes in. One of the big things as well is that I've been a little bit incorrect, and I was, rightly wronged and told the right way that DPP is really changing this year. It's not just a centre bounce attendances. It's actually all attendances. Whenever there's a ball up, anywhere on the field where your player is where they get counted for DPP. So some of these players coming up might be a little bit weird. Why is this guy here? Why is this guy here? Well, then we'll find out.
Yeah, exactly. And you need to have played for, in this case, 6 games. You have to have played 50% of those games. So essentially, you have to play 3 games at least. So if you get injured after 2 games, that's not enough for a player to get DPP. They have to play at least 3 games before
Mm-hmm.
they can get the DPP. And if you already have 2 positions as you currently stand, you will not get a third one,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So if someone gets debuted this week, they've got round 4, they've got round 5, and hopefully round 6, but you can still get DPP. After this week, no one else is getting it.
For
Who's new?
this set of games,
Who's
correct.
new? Yeah, in this set of games.
Yeah. So we'll start off now with the first player who is going to get a DPP change, and it is from your boys, Zachy Fisher, in a lot of people's forward lines.
Yeah, just a shame that people have definitely jumped off this player. I think majority people now will have trained him out. Obviously, he came into North Melbourne, was supposed to play that DPP halfback, type role, and he is playing that. Every single centre bounce, every single sausage, he's behind the ball, which is great. Just the scoring's not really there. So another North Melbourne player that we can have in our forward or our defender lines. Same with Sheasel and some other guys like we've had in the last couple of years.
Exactly. So he's not in my team anymore. For good
No,
riddance, I don't think he's a very good
in the
player to begin with. Now we get to my boy, Nick Martin. He's also playing 100% in defense. And again, the role was there. For those who held on to him, congratulations. Your faith was repaid. And he went absolutely bonkers with a 44 disposal game against the Saints. Almost we're very confident that that was going to happen. But hey, is he going to continue to do that throughout the rest of the season? Only time will tell, I suppose. He's got Port Adelaide this week, which are historically a tough matchup for halfbacks. So we'll see how he looks this week. But if you still own him, congratulations. He is definitely on track and locked in to get defensive DPP.
Yeah, I mean, we had selected this guy, Nick Martin, at the start of the season, being like, cool, he's a midfielder, he's cheap, he's going to be playing defense. Unfortunately, I traded him out, as everyone knows, similar to Hayden Young, who I also traded out, who's actually playing the opposite way. We might talk about him later. But yeah, if you've got Nick Martin, 3 weeks, you'll be able to chuck him in the defense. So you better be happy about that.
Exactly. As is this guy, capable of being
Mhm.
chucked into defense. He's playing 98% of the time there. And these
Yep.
stats that you're seeing here are all courtesy of the Herald Sun. It's behind a paywall. So if you guys can't get access to it, that is where we got this information from.
Well, that's it, 100%. I mean, Riley Bonner, 17 clangers last week, but some people still have him in their sides. And congratulations to you for holding fat after he came out and scored like a 50 the week before. So, yeah, if you've got him, DPP, got to be happy about it.
Yep, exactly. The boy you were talking about, here he is, Hayden Young. He's going to get mid DPP, having already got defensive DPP, and he had a wonderful game the week that went by. Obviously, he cleaned up his act. The fact that he had 19 clangers in the first 2 weeks, you knew that it wasn't going to persist. You knew that eventually his ball use was going to improve, and it definitely did last week. So if you were a holder of him, then you would be very, very happy with him.
Yeah, definitely 100%. I'm not sure how many of us are going to be playing him in the midfield after this week, but there is the option. There are swings that could happen. And, potentially I've seen some people with Dacos in the midfield. Maybe you do a Hayden Young to avoid some buys later on. We'll see what happens there.
Indeed. Very possible.
Carl Amon is up next. And another one of these players alongside Nick Martin that we started or definitely considered playing. Has been doing okay. Partly the reason why Sicily's kind of shit the bed a little bit. Carl Amon, 100% DPP going to happen. He's going to get mid defensive status and still is going to be fairly cheap. I don't have him in my team. I don't think you do as well, Joe, but I've seen some Facebook teams that have him. So, yeah, congratulations, guys. DPP's coming.
DPP is coming, as is for Tom Powell in our forward lines. I know a lot of people joined us and jumped on his bandwagon last week before he jumped up in price. He's playing, obviously, in the guts, and you can tell with that 97% time on ground, which is obviously going to be pretty handy for us moving forward. He's got the great buy as well. Now, we have gone through some buy rounds already, but hey, more flexibility in our team, the better.
Yeah, definitely. Just the DPP, like the forward line, I've had a few swings at the moment with Darcy Wilson, things like that. Tom Powell, if there's a rookie in the forward line that becomes available that's a must-have, like we've just had Darcy come in, Tom Powell DPP might means that, we can start to look for those players because from round 9 onwards, we're going to be starting to upgrade our teams and potentially there's a good forward player or a good midfielder that's getting forward status. Tom Powell in there is going to be great.
Yeah, 100%. Could be McKercher. I think everybody sort of knew that he was going to get defensive DPP. Yeah, 97% time on ground, if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I could have started him. I didn't. It's cost me a trade. McKercher get in my team. And I think similar to a Roberts, who we might be talking about soon after this, a lot of us have a Massimo and a Zach Williams in there. We can keep these two players on our field scoring points and be able to swing them. And once those two other players, mature in price, offload those guys instead. So, yeah, it's working out all right for us.
100%. Isaac Heeney, primo in our forward line. It was always spoken about every year. The increase mid-time, bro, 81%.
Every year,
finally Heeney season. It's finally happened. Now, Taylor Adams is back this week. I'd love to see what happens with Heeney's CBAs this week and whether or not he spends more time forward will be really interesting to see. But he will, though, be locked in for DPP regardless of what happens from here on out.
Yeah, I mean, he would just have to really play every single CBA, every single stoppage in the goal square, I think, from this point onwards for it to not count. So maybe Longmire's kind of gone a bit nutto and said, yep, Heeney, you're back to the forward line. Outside of that, going to get DPP. But the beautiful thing is, he's probably not going to stack up as a midfield primo. He's a good primo in the forward line, though. So yeah.
Correct. Yeah, 100%. Riley Sanders, he could be in that forward line.
Yeah, another one of these players similar to what I was saying about McKercher, right? If you want Sanders as scoring for a longer period of time, midfielders, because they're so expensive to start, all the primos seem to drop in price. You can offload a James Jordan, for example, into the into a midfield primo. Sanders to the forward line, Joe. There's some real options there.
If 38% is real close to the 35%,
That's true.
You just know Bevo's going to screw us over. You just know Bevo's going to be like, stuff you, no DPP for you, you son of a shit. You just...
If he doesn't get DPP, then we suck it up and we just say, cool, all right, now he's in the midfield. There's no real harm at the moment.
I know, but any chance I can get to pot shot Bevo, I'm happy to do so.
Oh, that's what it was. All right, no worries.
Another Bulldog, Sam Darcy. Look at that, 42% ruck time. He could be a ruck forward for us. I know a lot of us have got Livingston at R3, and if Sam Darcy continues to do good things for us, get that ruck status, then he could serve as good coverage. But I know a lot of people are looking at getting Toby Conway next week, for example. So there is some flexibility, but Sam Darcy looks to be someone that you almost need to get in, I think, at this point.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's some real options with the Sam Darcy, as you say. Even if you just want to keep him in the forward line and say, cool, God forbid Grundy goes down, someone else goes down, we have to swing him. Works out all right. And this is what I was saying, right? Darcy didn't play round 1. He still qualifies for DPP. Someone to watch out for. And I know there's a few debutants that might come around this week as well. So we'll see what happens.
Yep, especially from the Gold Coast Suns. Matt Roberts, you mentioned this kid before.
Yeah, Matt Roberts kind of came out of nowhere. I don't even think he's 100% ownership. And I have, Joe, seen a few teams looking to bring Matt Roberts in this week. So maybe he works out. A lot of us have Massimo. A lot of us have a Zach Williams in the back line. Matt Roberts is averaging more than both of those. Do we swing him in round 7? Potentially, for some more upgrades.
Well, Harold Sun's got him going. It could be around 400K come round 12, and that's some juicy money. So does not hurt to own this guy whatsoever. Alex Sexton in our forward lines, 90% in defense. I wouldn't be entirely concerned about that 10%. The reason why I held on to him is I think Hardwick sees him playing in defense, and if he's not playing in defense, then I think he's playing in the Magoos, to be frank. So there are a lot of changes coming Gold Coast's way this week, a lot of debutants. I think of those, only one of them is a genuine defender. However, and I think they might be coming in for Bodie Euland. It's a real check to see if Atkins is named. If Atkins stays in the side, then I think Sexton is in for a lot of trouble. So I would not be looking to trade Sexton in this week if you don't own him.
No, definitely not. I mean, I'm almost considering going him to Conway next week and saying, see you later. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens. Never really was that. He was more just like, cool, he's playing halfback and he's available in the forward line versus us actually wanting to put him in our back line. So it's nice the DPP, but it's not really relevant as much, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Max Holmes. Some people own this guy.
I know, right? And a lot of people, the people that have him aren't going to get him as a midfielder forever. They're going to have him round 7, flip him to the back line, be very, very happy, looks to be playing really well. And congratulations for those people who picked him up at sub 500K. It's really looking like he's locked in as a defender, as you see there, 73%. So he's going to get it regardless of what happens.
Yeah, I think the only one that I can think of right now is Burns, good friend Burns from Burns Supercoach. Congratulations to you, buddy. Well done for selecting Maxi Holmes. I got this boy, Buku Kamis, on my bench. 100% defense.
He's going to make you a lot of
money. Hopefully, we can make me some cash, get that defensive DPP, which would come in clutch because my bench right now is looking pretty damn bare at the moment. And I can trade someone out from the back line, swing him into defense and get myself a nice forward or potentially a mid. If I have someone forward eligible in the midfield, I can even get a midfielder. So that DPP can come in clutch. If you've missed him, though, I would not trade him in now. The scoring that he's giving you, is not worth that elevated price point. So if you got him, in the minority that have him like me, congratulations to us. But if you don't own him, don't bother trying to get him in.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I think kind of there are a lot of people who may have, I got Berry myself, a lot of people bringing in a Dempsey. Buku Kamas could be an option for some people. He just came off an 88. So Joe's saying don't get him in. Big J saying if you're crazy, go for it.
It's for me just a question about the job security because Alex Keith is still waiting in the wings. So if he can make me money before Keith comes, I just feel like Buku Kamas is maybe one bad game away from getting dropped. Is my concern. I know he's a good player. Hopefully he can continue playing well, but if he drops a stinker, I find it hard to imagine that Keith stays in the VFL. Is my concern, really.
That's fair. Even if he gets kicked out of the team, he still gets DPP because he's played 3 games. Okay.
Correct. Exactly. Then we have a loophole that can switch between positions. And our last player is Massimo D'Ambrosio, Italiano, very good boy. I'm very sad to see him at Hawthorn and not in our team anymore. But yeah, he will be getting mid status, 83% on a wing, if you don't mind.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many people are actually going to keep him like in the midfield. Maybe they're going to do some weird things, but possibilities are there, Joe, and it works out for those people that do have him. I think everyone's got him at the moment. So if it keeps him alive for a week or two.
And those guys are the players who are on track to get DPP changes. There are a few people. I know some people were hoping, for example, for a Bontempelli or for a Petrarca to get mid status, but they're at 10% and 20% forward status. So they're pretty far off the pace, and it doesn't look like we're going to get any genuine primos in the forward line at this point of the season.
Yeah, I know some people were after Connor Rosie as well, potentially a Tim Kelly and a few of these other players. So as Joe says, it kind of really opens up a lot of options. If you have a Jesse Hogan, for example, maybe you keep him because there's no DPPs coming. If you've got a Ben Mackay, maybe that kind of changes a few of your things and says, hey, look, he's playing key forward, he's playing ruck, potentially he's a keeper. So, yeah, it could work out for those people that have got him.
I think you mean Harry Mackay.
Yeah, Harry, you know what I mean, Harry Mackay.
Or if you're looking for a Max King type, if you're watching this video, you've absolutely seen the Squadfathers video. So yes, Max King potentially on the card. So if we're not getting any of these genuine gun mids in our forward line, it could be the year where the key forwards are taking this competition by storm. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Drop us a like if you like what you saw from us here today, and a subscription if you're new would greatly help the growth of our channel. And make sure you hit that notification bell to not miss out on any of our videos or streams.
Yeah, guys, jump on the live stream tomorrow, the drive home. It's going to be a lot of fun. Couldn't get the words out of my mouth. I'm so excited. So we've got a lot of content coming out, a few more videos tonight, a lot of stuff over the next few weeks. Supercoach is exciting. Plan for your DPPs. Plan for those changes. Plan to not have any mids getting forward status as well, because I know a lot of us were hoping that we might get one or two and be able to offload some players to them.
It makes players like Flanders all the more special. Having players that can go over 100, people like Heeney as well, just makes them even more important and special as a selection. So thank you guys so much for watching. We look forward to seeing you all in the next one, because
here at the Centre Bounce, we do the hard work so you guys don't have to. Bye for now.